Welcome to Microchip's briefing. The content of the briefing includes: Micron strikes union deal for Idaho chipmaking plant. China sees surge in chip-making equipment imports amid latest U.S. export controls. Commerce needs cash to curb China's chips. NVIDIA CEO suggests Malaysia could be AI manufacturing hub as Southeast Asia expands data centers. Pre-market, world shares rise ahead of a key U.S. jobs report. Micron strikes union deal for Idaho chipmaking plant. Yahoo! Semiconductor company Micron has reached an agreement with unions to build a $15 billion chipmaking plant in Idaho. The move could give Micron an advantage in obtaining subsidies from the CHIPS and Science Act. China sees surge in chip-making equipment imports amid latest U.S. export controls. South China Morning Post. China's imports of semiconductor manufacturing equipment, a prime target of the U.S. government's updated tech export controls, surged in value by nearly 80% in October compared to the same period last year, according to China's latest customs data. This increase reflects Chinese semiconductor companies' efforts to stockpile chip-making tools ahead of the latest U.S. tech trade controls, which took effect in November. The U.S. Bureau of Industry and Security added less advanced lithography equipment and certain advanced tools for etching and film deposition to a list of restricted items for export to China in October. Commerce needs cash to curb China's chips. Foreign policy. The U.S. Commerce Department has warned that it needs more resources to carry out its role in the country's brewing Cold War with China. Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo told Foreign Policy that the department's operations to protect U.S. supply chains and critical technology are woefully underfunded. The Bureau of Industry and Security, BIS, an agency within the Commerce Department, has a budget relatively unchanged in a decade, despite having double the workload. The department currently oversees supply chain security, export control initiatives, and the crafting of U.S. policies on artificial intelligence to outcompete Beijing. Republican lawmakers have urged the department to reform before any money is allocated. BIS has been criticized for allowing the unimpeded transfer of U.S. technology to China over the last 2 decades, which has contributed to China's rise as a scientific and technological power. NVIDIA CEO suggests Malaysia could be AI manufacturing hub as Southeast Asia expands data centers. Associated Press. Jensen Huang, CEO of NVIDIA, has said that Malaysia could be a hub for artificial intelligence, AI, manufacturing, though he did not confirm whether NVIDIA is in talks with local conglomerate YTL Corp to set up AI data centers in the country. Huang said that Malaysia is an important hub for Southeast Asia's computing infrastructure, adding that the country is well suited for AI manufacturing due to its expertise in packaging, assembly, and other aspects of manufacturing. Huang also said that Southeast Asia is likely to become a hub for AI computing due to the need for data centers to refine and transform data into valuable information. Just the beginning, Apple's new era of gaming on Mac. The Sydney Morning Herald. Apple plans to make a larger impact in the gaming industry by developing powerful chips and developer tools for its Mac computers. Historically, games have been a significant part of Apple's home computers. However, the modern Mac has largely stopped focusing on gaming. The modern gaming market is dominated by Windows, with Mac OS and Linux accounting for just 1.5% and 2% of players, respectively. However, Apple recognizes the importance of the gaming industry commercially and culturally and aims to tap into the market to increase the popularity of its Mac computers with a more mainstream audience. Apple's M3 chip, which features several benefits for professional modeling and graphics production, is capable of running games on high resolutions at more than 100 frames per second, outperforming some Intel-powered Windows PCs. Apple has invested significantly in Apple Arcade, a subscription service offering access to a library of ad-free, microtransaction-free games. However, the majority of blockbuster games are only released on Windows PC and consoles, with a few eventually being ported to Mac. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Six, your resident observer from the 6 Degrees world, bringing you a roundup of the latest news. Let's dive in. First up, semiconductor company Micron has struck a deal with unions to build a massive chip-making plant in Idaho. This move could give Micron an advantage in obtaining subsidies from the CHIPS and Science Act. Looks like Micron is making some big moves in the industry. In China, imports of chip-making equipment have surged amid the latest U.S. export controls. Chinese semiconductor companies are stockpiling these tools ahead of the restrictions, which took effect in November. It seems they're preparing for a potential chip-making battle with the U.S. Meanwhile, the U.S. Commerce Department is calling for more resources to combat China's rise in the chips industry. Secretary Gina Raimondo says they are woefully underfunded and need more support to protect supply chains and critical technology. Looks like the department needs some cash to curb China's chips. In the world of artificial intelligence, NVIDIA's CEO suggests that Malaysia could become a hub for AI manufacturing. Malaysia's expertise in manufacturing and computing infrastructure make it a suitable location for AI data centers. Southeast Asia as a whole is also expected to become a hub for AI computing. Looks like AI is expanding its reach. Moving on to the financial markets, world shares were mostly up ahead of a key U.S. jobs report. Wall Street bounced back after a 3-day losing streak, and Europe's market showed a decline in Germany's inflation rate. Looks like the financial world is keeping an eye on the job market and inflation numbers. Lastly, Apple is making a push into the gaming industry with powerful chips and developer tools for its Mac computers. With a historically small presence in gaming, Apple aims to tap into this market and increase the popularity of its Macs. The company's M3 chip is even outperforming some Windows PCs in running games. Looks like Apple wants to level up its gaming game. That's all for today's news roundup. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts and answer any questions you might have. So, what are your thoughts on these news stories? Let's discuss. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.